Today, we're going to explain to you how to use two different Town Hall 12 versus Town Hall 13 2-star attacks versus different type of bases. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and if you are struggling to get the 2-star on a Town Hall 13 as a Town Hall 12, whether you are in the Clan War Leagues or you are pushing up to Legends League or you are in Legends League, then we've got two different attacks that will be able to get you the 2-star guaranteed. Which one is going to be the Electro Dragons and the other the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon. First, let's teach you how to use the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon attack. So for starters, we've got a centralized base right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using a Queen Walk in order to kind of create a little bit of pathing, a little bit of security for this blimp to go across and get to the town hall. But at some point, we're going to be using the Warden to go alongside with that queen. That way we can use the ability once we send in the blimp in order to get rid of the town hall. At that point, we will be able to use something like the bowlers with an ice golem to get rid of structures on one particular side where they're able to bounce a lot of their rocks and get rid of a amount of different structures in order to get percentage. That's exactly what you want. And then all you're really going to be doing is just using baby dragons all along the buildings that you didn't get rid of for extra percentage. And that's exactly what you want to try and get if you are using the baby dragons. And this is why they're predominantly used in a lot of hit-up attacks, and they're a little bit more reliable. Now, for starting off, we're going to be using the queen. We're going to be using those healers in order to make sure that we're keeping this queen alive. We will need to use a rage spell in order to keep her alive, especially through max level defenses. Also, take a look at that queen level. She is only level 65 or 56, which means that it is going to be an incredibly strong way, even if you have low level heroes, to get the 2 stars against Town Hall 13s. So you'll see that we have the Warden moving along. Again, notice that he also isn't maxed, only level 23. So this is going to provide us with enough support. And as we move through, we're going to use the Warden Eternal Tome right at the end of his aura. That way the blimp is easily able to make it to the town hall, and there we go. Down goes the town hall. Sometimes you may want to use the earthquake at that stage, but outside of that, you're going to be able to get rid of a large portion of defensive structures. Now, outside from this, you will be able to use the bowlers along with the ice golem in order to get rid of more buildings. We're already at 23%, and we're able to stack up from there. We're using these bowlers in order to pick off multiple structures from the base, just to make it a little bit easier. And we also want to use the earthquake, if we still have it, in case we need to get rid of more structures. Outside of that, though, we're now at 33%, and then we just move into the baby dragon phase, where we're using the baby dragons over all structures around the base in order to get that 50%. And that's really all that we need it to do. So getting rid of the laboratory, getting rid of the gold storage if we can. So you want to just take a look at different things, and you want to make sure that you're able to have enough to get through. If you have the king still up, you can use him along with the freeze in order to get rid of an enemy hero if it's on the outside. But you can still see here is that we're able to get the 2-star with no problem. Now, if you see island style bases, then you may want to continue watching, because you will see how to deal with island bases later on in the video. But this is just one way of how you guys can deal with centralized bases here with the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon. Let's take a look at the Electro Dragons and how you can hit centralized bases with them. Next up is the Electro Dragons. Mass Electro Dragon is an incredibly popular way to get the 2-star versus Town Hall 13s, no matter if you are a Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 12. Now, here at Town Hall 12, this works with low-level heroes, spells, and troops space even. So what you want to do is you want to create the funnel on two sides. You're going to be using the heroes on one side to create a funnel, while using the Edrag on the other to create one side of the funnel. That way then you can control your Edrags to work yourself into the base with the rage spells, and then you're going to be using the blimp in order to get rid of the town hall. It's really that simple. All you really want to make sure that you're doing though is getting a bulk of the buildings. So you want to make sure that percentage is still on your mind. You want to make sure that percentage is still an incredible factor in making sure that you're able to get that 2-star in order to continue to push trophies, or at least get that 2-star for your clan in terms of mismatches. So you'll see here is that what we're doing is we're using the king down at the bottom, and we're also using the Electro Dragons in order to create the funnel. Now that we've gotten a decent amount of percentage and a decent amount of buildings for a funnel, we can then go ahead and send in the Electro Dragons and the balloons. We have the Warden moving through, and this is where we're going to use the Rage spell in order to get these Edrags to push in, do more damage, and move through. That's when we're going to drop in the Battle Blimp in order to provide more support, and this is where we're going to use the Warden ability in order to protect it. Now, on top of this, we are going to see the use of a dragon and sneaky goblins in order to get rid of the town hall. You only need 5 sneaky goblins to get rid of it. So just keep that in mind, but take notice, we're at 47%, and we're going to be able to get some decent percent thanks to the minion over on the left and the Edrags over on the right. So now that we're at a 52 or around a 50% here, we will be able to get rid of a multitude of these buildings, and the minion here is going to be the final thing that gets us enough percent. A 52% is still not that bad at all, and we're able to use those Edrags in order to get that 2-star. Now that's dealing with a centralized town hall. Let's also give you further examples in how you can deal with centralized and offset town hall. Now, if you remember when I said I was going to show you guys how to hit island bases, I did not lie. So how you're doing this is very similar. Remember, all you're doing is you're walking your queen in order to get rid of some buildings. Now, this is a perfect base for Electro Dragons, but we're going to use the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get the king to go in to take down the scatter shot. And once the queen kind of walks in this direction, we're going to use the blimp in order to get rid of that town hall. We've got balloons from that battle blimp, and we're able to use the baby dragons all around with a couple bowlers and an ice golem in order to get rid of more structures that are bounceable from the outside. So that's really all we're doing. You may have also noticed that we have wall breakers, and we're able to use those wall breakers in order to get much more from the base. So we want to make sure that we're starting off with the queen. Now you want to try to avoid the scatter shots as much as you can, especially if you have a lower level hero. Now in this case we have max level heroes, so this is still a lot for the queen at level 65 to deal with. So you want to make sure that you're able to keep your queen alive underneath the rage. You want to make sure that it's going to be enough, and sometimes you may even need to use a free spell. But in this case here, we're going to use the king in order to get rid of that scatter shot, just to make it easier for us to load or, take off the burden of this scatter and expo on our queen and the enemy clan castle troops. So you got to really be careful about all of this. But once you've gotten that, you can use the warden right behind your heroes, and you have his ability that will allow you to use it over the blimp once it gets out of it, or once it gets towards the outside of its aura, in order to get right over to the town hall. We can use the freeze, rage, and the earthquake in order to get some damage off on all the buildings around there, and in order to get at least the town hall down. And then all we really need to do is just focus on getting percentage now. So 29%, we're going to use the bowlers here along with the rage since we don't need the ice golem, and we're able to get multiple structures down around there while they're underneath that rage in order to get some really good bowler bounce percentage. So now that we're at 41, we can just use the baby dragons and kind of surround the base. And remember, you want to try and save a couple in order to save this from being just a 1-star. So in here, we only have 1 baby dragon left, but there isn't too many defenses around there that's going to cause us some problems. So we will be able to still get at least a decent amount of percentage. So we have a 48% here, and we will be able to get the 50 thanks to the baby dragon and the minions. So you want to try and be careful about a lot of different things. Try to make sure that your queen does not get taken down so early. So you just want to keep in mind those different factors. but that is going to be the 51% 2-star, and that's how you guys can use the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon versus island type bases. But we also want to go over Edrags and how you can use them versus offset town halls. Now here is a offset town hall base, and we're going to be using the Electro Dragons. Now one thing I didn't mention before was that you can use lightning spells to deal with the sweepers. In the last base, the sweepers were pointed to one side, but they were not in the direction that we were sending in our army. If we're sending them in away from the town hall, this is where we need to use the lightning spells in order to get rid of the sweepers. So what we're doing is we're going to use the lightning to get rid of the sweepers. We're going to use a Sui Queen on one side. Notice that she's the only thing that we have max here, a level 28 Warden and no King. So that means that we don't really need to worry about using the King. So if you don't have the King up, that's fine. You can still attack without the King, even if he's upgrading. Now, it's very important, though, that you're able to create the funnel. So you want to make sure that you're using a Baby Dragon and E-Drag to get both percentage and in order to create a funnel. That way you can force your E-Drags in, and also using the Battle Blimp to go in for the Town Hall. Again, it's that simple, really easy. So what you'll see here is that we're going to start off with the lightning spells. We're going to use the lightning in order to get rid of the sweepers. That way we're able to use the Ice Golem and the Queen. The Ice Golem's job here in this case is to tank for the Queen since we don't have the King. And we're going to use the Baby Dragon over here in order to create a bit more, create a funnel here for the E-Drags. Now we're going to do the same thing by using the E-Drag chain along with a couple balloons and a freeze in order to make sure that we're able to create that side of the funnel. Then we're going to use the 2 rage spells, and we're going to use the E-Drags to start getting into the base along with using the Warden and the Blimp. We want to make sure that we're using these rage spells in order to push the E-Drags in, get more chain value, and that way they're able to get more percentage. We want to then be able to use the freeze spells to protect the Battle Blimp as we get it closer to the Town Hall. And again, you could use the Dragon and Sneaky Goblin method in order to get rid of the Town Hall. And then realistically, what you'll have is a lot of E-Drags remaining on the base. So those are things that you really want to consider. If you're seeing these different type of bases where there's an offset, more of an island type base like you see here, you want to make sure that you're able to push your Electro Dragons from the opposite side, where you're able to get enough chain value from the inside of the base, and you're able to use that as cover for your Battle Blimp. Now, I wouldn't recommend this versus teaser bases, but I will recommend this versus these type of bases where they have them slightly more in the base, but definitely, not on the outside. If the Town Hall's on the outside, it's going to be really easy. So you'll see, again, we're going to be able to get a really good percentage. We got a 76% thanks to the Warden for clutching it up, and that is going to be enough for a really good 2-star, and that's exactly what you want to try and do with Electro Dragons. Now let's also take a look at how you can deal with those dreaded teaser bases with the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon. Now this final one is those dreaded teaser bases. Now we're using the Queen Walk Mass Baby Dragon in order to get rid of a lot of these buildings. It's a good strategy, and if you don't see the value of using Electro Dragons, then this is definitely going to be the strategy. So you want to try and look for these type of bases. We know that there are Teslas all around this area here. So we already know where the Teslas are. We already know that this is a teaser base, so we have the Town Hall right by Scattershots. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to those. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the Queen Walk on the opposite side. We're going to start with the Queen here in order to make sure that we're walking our Queen this way into the base, even if she has to break through walls. That way what we're able to do is we're able to get more percentage. So we do want to sometimes even use rage spells to provide even more for this Queen. That way we're able to keep her alive and speed up the process. We do have 4 rage spells in this army composition. Now while we're doing this, we're not using the Warden with the Queen. Instead, we're going to be using the Warden with the Battle Blimp instead. And that way what we're able to use is the Warden Eternal Tome along with a freeze over a sweeper that is either pushing us back, and then that way we're able to use the Earthquake, Rage, and the balloons from that Battle Blimp in order to get rid of the Town Hall and possibly also get rid of the Scattershots. Now you'll see that we're using the free spells on the single target Inferno to make it easier for this queen to step up and get rid of some of these structures like you see here, like getting rid of the Expo and the Wizard Tower. Now at that stage, you're going to be able to use the baby dragon in order to sort of get rid of more, and then you also want to use something such as this, the ice golems, Valkyries, bowlers, in order to get more percentage out of the base. And that way what you're able to do is get to that 50%. So right here, you'll see that we've gotten to about, now we're at 50%. Around there, we were about 47%. So when you're doing this, try to make sure that you're using that over an area where you're able to get some good bounce value. There's a clump of defenses or a clump of buildings that you can get rid of by using the Ice Golem to tank, the Valkyries and Bowlers to smash through with that Rage spell. And then outside of that, baby dragons galore. You're going to be using these all around to get to at least maybe a 60%. In this case, we do get to that 60, but instead we're just going to be able to make sure that we're able to use them and take full advantage of that raged up ability. That tantrum is incredibly important. So you always want to make sure though that you are able to really think about that. So be very careful though of things like air defenses. They are incredibly dangerous and they can provide a lot in terms of defense. So you want to make sure that you are really taking a look at what you can get rid of. But outside of that, those are the two attacks and how you can use them versus different type of bases. Hopefully this video helps you guys in terms of getting the 2 stars, and good luck during the Clan War Leagues or if you guys are pushing up. And hopefully this will help you guys a lot. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more educational Clash of Clans content. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow me over on the social and ring the notification, and also follow me over on, or join my community Discord server, And other than that though, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.